If you can check off even one of these 3 boxes I'm about to show you, you're literally doing better than half of America right now. And if you can check off all 3, you're in the upper echelon, even if you don't own a home or have a high salary. And this isn't just my opinion, it's based on real data. That's right, your boy is sourced once again. Where do these stats come from? Ramsey's State of Personal Finance Survey from Q1 of 2025. In today's video, we'll walk through 3 clear signs you're doing way better financially than most Americans and what to do even if you're not. All right, the first sign you're doing better than most of America when it comes to money is you're not living paycheck to paycheck. If you have money left over at the end of the month, even just a couple $100, congratulations. You've got more margin than a whole lot of people. 53% of Americans say that they are living paycheck to paycheck. That's right, more than half of our country is one missed paycheck away from financial disaster. That's about as sad as the moment from Inside Out when Bing Bong sacrifices himself so Joy can escape the memory dump. Oh, sorry, spoiler alert, everyone dies.
And thanks to you, that's over now, and you've ruined that for me.
Anyway, as you might expect, living paycheck to paycheck is more common for Americans with lower household incomes. 72% of those who make less than $50K said they live paycheck to paycheck. But so do 36% of people making over $100K, and that is insane. I know, things are expensive and inflation and tariffs and all that jazz, but if you make 6 figures and you're still broke at the end of the month, odds are you've got a spending problem, not an income problem. And because so many people are living paycheck to paycheck, it's no surprise that almost half of Americans report some difficulty paying bills, and about a third say they've paid a bill late in the last 3 months. So if you've got even a small buffer between your income and your expenses, and if you're not sweating bullets every time a bill comes in the mail, you're already ahead of the majority of Americans, which is awesome for you, but pretty sad for our country as a whole. And if you're part of the 53% living paycheck to paycheck, hear me when I say this. You can break the cycle and get ahead with your money. It's gonna take some work, but it's completely doable, even on a low income. In fact, I made a whole video about how to do this, and I'll drop a link in the description so you can check it out. Okay, the next sign you're doing better than most Americans is you don't stress about money every day. 6 out of 10 Americans say they worry about their finances every single day. And get this, 40% said their personal finances caused them to lose sleep in the last 3 months. And it's not just affecting their home life. 1/3 of American workers say they're distracted at work because of their personal money stress. So if you see Brenda from HR staring off into the void, don't assume she's just thinking about how to respond to an email from Rick. She might be wondering how she's going to afford her Paramount Plus subscription. Gotta find out how iCarly ends. Spoiler, everyone dies.
You lying?
And here's the crazy part. This money stress and anxiety is hitting people across all income levels. 60% of households making under $50,000 say they're stressed about money, which makes sense. If your income is on the lower end, things are more likely to be tight. But even for households making over $100,000, 45% of them say they're feeling the mental burden. So if you can go through your day without constantly worrying about whether you can afford groceries, rent, or your Paramount Plus subscription, you're doing better with money than most people in this country right now, including and especially Brenda in HR. Okay, the third sign you're doing better than most is based on some stats that are pretty sad. But before we get to that, let's talk about something happy, which is my bed sheets. Well, the sheets aren't happy because they're incapable of emotion, but I'm happy when I sleep on them because they're insanely comfortable. And I got them from Cozy Earth, a sponsor of today's video. Cozy Earth has sheets that are so soft, so smooth, so ridiculously comfortable, it'll feel like you stole the bedding from a 6-star hotel. Pretty sure those don't exist, but luckily, these sheets do. And what makes them so great? Well, they're made from premium viscose from bamboo, so you'll feel like you're sleeping on a cloud made of panda food. Bamboo. Final answer. And here's the best part. Cozy Earth is hooking you up with an exclusive 40% off because you're a fan of this channel. So head to cozyearth.com/George and use promo code George at checkout or click the link in the description. Okay, back to our checklist. The third sign you're doing better with money than most Americans is you're actually saving for retirement. Now, I always recommend investing 15% of your household income into retirement accounts like a 401k or a Roth IRA once you're financially ready. But it would appear that most people are not listening to me because the stats we're seeing about retirement are no bueno. 2/3 of Americans surveyed say they plan on working past age 65. And that's fine if it's what you want to do, but 1/3 of people say they have to work past 65 because they literally can't afford to retire. And for millennials, it gets worse. Over half of them said they have more debt than they do retirement savings. Buzz, your 401k. Woof. In case you're not a millennial, that was a reference to Home Alone, a movie from back when Macaulay was the more famous Culkin. Spoiler, nobody dies. Not even the bad guys. I know. Little disappointing. And what about the boomers, you might ask? Well, sadly, the baby boomers who are retiring right now aren't doing much better. Almost half of them have less than $100,000 saved for retirement. Now, $100,000 may seem like a pretty good amount of money, but it's not enough to create enough growth each year to live off for the rest of their lives. And if they also have a mortgage, it's going to be pretty hard to retire comfortably. So the bottom line here, a lot of Americans aren't doing so hot when it comes to saving for retirement. So if you've been consistently investing in your 401k or Roth IRA, you are way ahead of the game. And bonus points if you're investing that 15% of your household income. So if that's you, I hereby award you with the coveted George Kamel Imaginary Gold Star. The star may be fake, but the flex is real. So there you have it. If you've checked off these 3 boxes, you're doing better with money than most Americans. If you're not living paycheck to paycheck, you're not worrying about money every day, and you're saving for retirement, you are crushing it. And if you didn't check a single one, consider this your wake-up call. It is time to make some serious changes. And look, I know getting your money in order can be intimidating, and you might not know where to start. So if you want to know what to do next, what the right next move is for you, check out our free 3-minute assessment. It'll give you a step-by-step action plan based on where you are financially today. So I'll drop a link to that in the description below. And if you want to find out if you're considered broke, average, or wealthy, keep watching this next video or click the link in the description. Spoiler, everyone dies. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and share it with Brenda in HR before she starts that GoFundMe to pay for her iCarly addiction. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.